Abusia Mussa Dankwah the global analytics info ano yekase Mussa Dankwah dinye di foforo good reputation in post making statistics. Now say Mussa Dankwah sama kaya before 2024 general election. Mussa Dankwah deposed by after election yekoi na sa papa penero. Na say akotia by election ba so Mussa Dankwah deposed by yekoi na sa papa no. Mussa Dankwah post there. And for the agrocra. Then what the post about I show said Dr. BAWUMIA lead post no by 64%, whilst there's a decrease of 5% in Kennedy or in Japan. And then what Jemre in your time a pace in post now or the Aban Jabusia Jemre into Mussa Dankwah about all pace in post now or the Abanim.
A new poll by Global Info Analytics has shown that both Dr. BAWUMIA and Kennedy Japan have dropped votes marginally as compared to the October 2025 poll. The results, which stem from likely voters' model review, Dr. BAWUMIA leads with 42.7%, while Kennedy Japan has 17.7%, and Dr. Brian Champon amassing 4.6%. Dr. Yaduchum and Kwabneje Japan have 0.3% each. Well, let's analyze this with Mussa Dankwah, is the Executive Director, Global Info Analytics, also Professor Ezekiel Note, Associate Professor, Department of Statistics and Actuarial Science at the University of Ghana. Welcome, gentlemen, to our desk. Well, let's start with you, Mussa Dankwah. You've been doing these analytics, and really the question will be, how did this happen, or what may be the reason for their drop?
Right, thank you very much. If you look at the drop that had recorded in the period, you realize that overall about 4% numbers dropped. 1% from BAWUMIA, 1% from Kennedy, 1% from Kwabneje Japan, another percent from Dr. Yaduchum. That number went to undecided. So people have moved from committing their vote to candidates to being undecided. That's what we've seen in the poll.
Will this make any difference for the two going into the primaries?
We still have about 2 months ahead, but it gives you a very good view of what the race look like at the moment. And indeed, if you look at certain data from the report that we submitted, if you look at the current race vis-a-vis 2020 elections that was held by the MPP, there's a lot more happening there than we can see. Among those who in 2023 went for Ken, 5% of them have their vote to Brian. So Ken has lost 5% to Brian. BAWUMIA, on the other hand, has lost 4% to Brian. Now, when you come to Kennedy, Kennedy has lost 11% of his vote to BAWUMIA. But BAWUMIA has lost 6% of his vote to Kennedy. Net effect of plus, I think, 5 for BAWUMIA. So you could see that even though Ken was supposed to be performing well, it appears he has lost more to BAWUMIA than BAWUMIA has lost to him. And this can be understood from this data that we asked them earlier on, whether they share the belief that bringing the candidate again for the second time would enhance the party's chances. Overall, about 59% of delegates believe that if you bring a candidate again for the second time, the party's chances are enhanced, compared to only 14% who disagree. So this is the data that is telling us that the delegates are more amiable to second chance for BAWUMIA than
Therefore, as you can see, these are genuine work permits at Premium Max. Here we have from them.
It.
What really, I mean, apart from the reason you've given, what really is Kennedy not doing right? He seemed to have earlier on amassed the likeness of the grassroots. Is he doing something wrong?
So let's go back to last week. I think when you are on the campaign trail and your campaign is kind of going down well, you will see that reflected in the favorability rating of you by the candidates, by the delegate. If you look at the question we asked them in terms of favorability, BAWUMIA overall had a net increase of 1% among those who say they see him favorably. Kennedy, on the other hand, had gone down 5% in that period. This is linked to campaign messages. Something is being said on the messages, on the platforms, on the campaign trail that may not going down well with people, and they are responding to it. As to what it is, I can't tell what it is.
All right, and this poll is limited to, affiliates of the party, right, and party members.
But this is MPP delegates.
Right. Thank you. Let me go now to Professor Ezekiel Norte. What really do you make of this latest poll? And if you have any question to pose to Mussa Dankwah, you can do so.
Yeah, okay. I need to understand a bit more of the methodology he used. I think he did say that they used the likely something model. Can you throw more light on that likelihood model? What is it?
Let me first start with the methodology. Methodology in the document is clearly spelled out. We sampled 3,500 delegates across 16 regions, randomly using probability random sampling. And we interviewed them using computer-assisted telephone interviews. The sample was allocated to every region based on the size of the region. And then each region was kind of polled randomly. So you have all the constituencies having a good chance of being selected. That's how we did it. In terms of the reporting, now there are ways you can report on polling data. When we say likely voters model, it means that people who are likely going to vote, their views are accounted for. Those who say they will not vote, their views have been removed from the analysis. And what you are seeing is the results of those who said they will vote for BAWUMIA, Kennedy, Brian, Educhum, Kobinaje Japan, and those who know who they would vote for, but have refused to disclose it to us. And then those who said they are honestly undecided. So this is what we call the likely voters. They are likely to show up on election day and vote.
Oh, okay. But it's not as if you used a particular model and then you feed in the data to generate.
No.
Right. So these are polls data. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. That's fine. One thing I also need clarity on. There was a question you posed. That seems to suggest that people who in 2023 voted for either Kennedy or Dr. Mahmoud BAWUMIA, having switched, you didn't use that data in projecting the likelihood of something happening the next time. I thought you could have used that information, but you just presented that.
Yes, I mean, we're not there where we're going to project the winner yet. When we get to that point, we'll use our modeling to determine the kind of predictions. At the moment, we're just getting raw data.
Right.
So,
yeah, well, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, so Professor Norte, I mean, with this information you've collected and from where you sit, does this marginal decrease in the support for these two leading candidates make any difference in the run-up to their competition?
Well, I'm a bit worried that none of them is getting close to the 50%. So in the unlikely event, it means that there's going to be a runoff. Okay, and there were questions about the runoff, which actually means that largely it is going to Dr. Mahmoud BAWUMIA. My worry with the data is that at least the two leading, those in polls, the two leading contestants, which is Dr. Mahmoud BAWUMIA and Kennedy Ajipon, I thought that if one is losing, the other should gain.
Yeah.
But they are both losing. It means that the other contestants, which he mentioned is Brian Achambo, is doing something great that the two are not watching. And so if there is a little bit more of time, He could actually pull a surprise. But I don't see the others, apart from him, Brian, and the two leading, I don't see any of them pulling any shocker, apart from that, from the details of the data. I'm a little bit surprised with Kennedy Agyapong's dwindling data, because it seems to suggest that he is also on the ground, just as Dr. Mahmoud BAWUMIA. So I don't know what he is not doing right that is accounting for this.
Right. Could it be that recent cracks in the party could also be blamed for what's happening?
Oh, as for the cracks, it will not go anytime soon. That's how I see it. Until they settle on a candidate, the cracks will still be there, and it could even possibly be a bit more visible than we are seeing now. It happens in all parties. It happens once they settle on a candidate. They will make things.
Well, there are a few months to that primary. If you're supposed to advise these candidates, what would you tell them to do to make a difference? I mean, you're worried that none of them is hitting that 50% mark. What should they do? Should that be the focus now, so to prevent a runoff?
I think it's the message. They need to take the message to their the delegates. They should tell them what they have for them, and what they have for the country in general, so that that could push them. I think what I wouldn't want them to do is hitting themselves, because when they do that, they are actually giving the opposition, which is their main opposition is NDC, they are giving them arsenals to hit at them in the 2028. So they should be a bit careful with what they actually say against each other. And that would be fine. As for the cracks, it will always be there.
Right.
But I foresee that dwindling when they settle on a candidate.
Right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for